Hello and welcome. It is Sunday, it is afternoon, and that means it's time for Morgan's lazy Sunday afternoon productivity stream, where sometimes I'm productive and sometimes I just eat snacks. Uh, with me today, I have the one, the only Sako Tumi. Say hello.
Howdy, folks. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as Voit. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. I think I'm going to be playing the graphic designer this stream. I think.
Ooh.
Uh, if you are interested in videos that pertain to tabletop RPGs,
Ooh, right, because you switched it up recently.
I switched it up recently. So, if you ever wanted to play D&D, or you've been playing D&D for years and years and years and years, you might gain some insight with my videos. So, check it out. I would love to see you.
And I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. I write fantasy, and sometimes I even throw myself into the query trenches. Right now, I might just be rereading the entire Anita Blake series because the newest book drops in like a week and a half.
Oh, okay.
And it's the actual wedding, and we get to meet her parents on page.
Oh.
I'm not going to say who she's marrying in case you're like 7 books behind.
I am 7 books behind, yes.
So after
I gave up after Blue Moon.
Okay, yeah, Blue Moon was a little rough. But the next one, Obsidian Butterfly, is out of town with just Edward hunting things. So
Actually hunting things or fucking them all?
Oh, hunting things.
Oh, good.
We get back to tapping that for about 2 or 3 books, and then a little better balance between tapping it and plot.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, I mean, she does keep leveling up, but we do run into instances where we're like, oh, other people have these powers too, and these are reasons why we haven't seen them before.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when you kill the big baddie, but you do it the wrong way, other people end up with, things go wrong. Consequences.
Consequences.
You're like, well, that was a little easy for something we've been scared of for 3 books. And then there are consequences. So I think it balances out. But,
good.
My bar is pretty low. So
if your bar is low, then Anita Blake is awesome.
One of the books that even I admit is a little weak, I was reading the sequel to it. And I was like, wait, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Like all these things they kept referencing. So I went back and read the previous book, remembered 0 of it, none of it, except for one paragraph scene in the middle that I couldn't have known about if I hadn't read the rest of it. So clearly it made an impression the first time around.
Bloody Bones kind of did that to me.
Yeah.
There was a lot of bloody bones that I kind of blocked out, except for like one scene with the Earth Mover or whatever she was.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I usually don't even go back to like when she's dating Richard section of the.
Which is funny because like that was my introduction.
Yeah.
That was where I came in when I was a teenager. So.
Yeah, no, I probably came out in about the same time you did, but these days, I like it better when her life is working for her.
Yeah.
When she's putting in the work to deal with her traumas and things like that.
Which one was the one where she was screwing with the rats?
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Oh, okay. There were were-rats.
Yes, there are, because they're her ally.
Yeah. So. She was getting.
But the latest book that came out last year was a novella, or like normal size one rather than a big adventure, that's just called Raphael.
Oh.
So things and stuff happen in that one.
Figures.
So I'm just, for anyone who wants to catch up on the Anita Blake books, if you hit a book that just has a guy's name as the title, that's a romance book, not a blood and gore and bones, typically. So anyway, that's what I'm doing today. Is I am eating Gardetto.
What are they? They're
It's
like
sort of like
pumpernickel.
Chex Mix,
It's sort of like Chex Mix,
but with a
It's got
different seasoning packet and more of the bagel chips.
nice.
Which the dance studio I went to when I was a teenager had them in the vending machine for, it was an old vending machine, but like 35 cents for a snack.
Hell yeah.
Right? Because they never updated the software or the mechanics. I think it was mechanical, purely mechanical. So until they had to get a new, and they stocked that. So it's like, it tastes like nostalgia, and it's crispier than most Chex Mix because it's more of like the little breaded mini breadstick things than it is like, there's no actual Chex in there, and so
right,
it's all the hard parts. So it's delicious, especially if you enjoy a salt lick, which occasionally I do.
Oh man,
what's up?
So I just put 2 and 2 together regarding, there was a tabby that decided to come into our yard and attach himself to Kibby.
Okay.
And we can't take him in. We can't take him to the vet. We can't. And he's unneutered, which sucks.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a winter coat either. And it snowed today.
Oh no. Can you put a box with like bedding in there, a blanket or a towel or something out for him?
Yeah, maybe. We kind of don't want him coming around the yard, but like he needs shelter.
Yeah. Hi, Doc. Hi. Say hi to the nice people.
Hi, nice people.
Do you have groceries?
Yes, I've just as things were getting ready to get started, my groceries got delivered tonight, so I had to bring them in, and then found out that the shopper apparently does not know the difference between a 1-pound bag of shredded cheese and an 8-ounce bag of shredded cheese.
Oh no!
Because I ordered 2 1-pound bags and I got 2 8-ounce bags. So.
That's not enough cheese.
That's not enough cheese. Not.
What are you gonna do with so little cheese? Suffer or go to the store?
Well,
or try again.
Fortunately, I still have another unopened 1-pound bag from last week, but I may be running out of cheese before the end of the week. I don't know.
That's so sad. Nobody wants to run out of cheese.
I may have to. Morgan never runs out of cheese.
No, I was going to talk about my cheesy joke last night.
Whatever. I may something lactate.
Yeah. I may have to schedule cheese avoidant jokes. So.
Okay.
I don't
anyway.
have enough lactate for this cheesiness. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. So, Desdemona, hello and welcome. Desdemona does the same thing when a new series book is dropping, rereads what happens before. I have sworn off of that for one series and one series only. Game of Thrones. Last time a book came out, I suffered all the way through, and I said, next time, I'm hitting Wikipedia for the Cliff Notes.
And then next time never came.
Well, I mean, I'm still waiting, so
everyone's still waiting. It's been what, 12 years? Like
it's been a while.
I don't think another one's coming out.
Yeah. So Jennifer is here. Hello and welcome. Desdemona agrees that cheese is the real food of the gods. And Jennifer asks a darker question. When you die, which body part dies last?
Your brain.
Okay. Some people
that's why you can chop off a head and it's still blinking and trying to talk and stuff.
I think it may depend on how you die, but
If you die by
cerebellum-
beheading, the head still does its thing until it bleeds out.
even if
Yeah,
you're brain dead, the cerebellum has to be doing something, or there's not enough electrical signals to like pulse your heart and stuff.
I would think that if you die by taking a cannonball to the head, then your heart will continue to beat for a while. But you're
True,
kind of,
it'll spray out with the last couple as it depressurizes.
Mhm.
Your
Oh,
eyes.
they
they dilate.
But
Nice,
Ba-dum-bum.
nice.
Where's my lactate?
Oh my gosh. So you said you were working on graphic design stuff today. What are you working on today, Doc?
I'm working on novel revisions again. I still haven't finished.
Yeah.
I need to start doing that more than just on Sundays.
What craziness. Oh, I totally missed your meeting because I went to the grocery store myself. But I did hit edits on page 158. So I got like a third of the way through my book.
Yay!
Maybe 2/5.
Ooh.
Not quite
Okay.
halfway there. But so I made progress. So put me in the progress report.
Oh no, I have to go update this now.
When you get around to it.
Oh.
Speaking of round to it, my dad used to have some round coasters that said to it all the way around the coaster because it's
Mhm.
around to it.
Yep. I used to have round to its when I was a kid.
I don't
I have
understand.
no idea what happened.
Have you heard the phrase "I'll get around to it"?
I'll do it when
Oh.
I get around to it.
So it's around to it.
So somebody made round to its to give to people. So they'd go and do things.
I see.
It was
You have
glorious.
no excuse anymore.
Yes.
Here's your to it.
You're out of excuses. Now go right. No, wait, different podcast.
Snacks. You need snacks first. Okay, let's see. Mint Ghost is here. Hello and welcome.
Hi, Mint.
So,
Mint and I will be streaming on Tuesday night
ooh,
from like 9 to 11 p.m.
nice.
So tune in for that.
On Sako's channel, not here.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
On Mint's channel.
Oh, on Mint's channel. Anyway, not here.
Anyway, not here.
This is
So-
not the channel you're looking for at that time. This is the channel you're looking for at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what last night was?
What was last night?
Baby goat season has kicked off.
Yeah, I've been getting
goat
the
fest?
Facebook posts from the farms that I follow with the baby goats and the ewes
Oh, the baby goats.
and the lambs.
So Jennifer is excited about night sprints.
Sweet.
Night sprint. Right? Isn't there a song about night sprints?
That was good. Working for the night sprints.
Okay. Maybe we should do some stuff though. What do you think? Do
Yeah,
stuff
maybe
Some stuff and things.
stuff.
and things. Oh my gosh. Okay. So my wordless doing got a do and
We are not responsible for your baby shark.
it's a problem. It's a problem. So okay. Pop into the comments what you're working on if you want to. I think I'm gonna read and eat more garditos. Because I should totally be editing.
So this is avoided snacking then. Oh, you've got the family size bag.
It's not so much the eating of the snacks that's preventing the editing. It is the reading that is.
Didn't you know I was a family-sized person? If that's the serving size, I
What
am
does that
in it
make
to win it.
me?
In it to win it. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. Snack attack.
I need to go get snacks. So I think I just answered my question. Your family size. Apparently, I'm party size.
And we're back. How was your sprint?
Scattered.
I hear you. I put the snacks away now that I have eaten half the bag.
Ah,
It was delicious. And now I'm chugging water because did I mention it's half salt lick?
yeah.
Mm.
Chug that water.
So
I concept out a couple of cards. I kind of looked at the prepping for Camp Nano that I'm doing, which I'm co-writing a choose your own story
it was
with,
super fun.
with R.C. Scott.
Okay.
So it's going to be super horror in all of its genres.
Nice.
It's going to be a blast. It's going to be really hard to write, but it's going to be a blast.
Right. Yeah. Awesome.
So I dug into my editing and realized that I think I mentioned before that I've got scenes where my editors complained that I refer to the crowd.
Yeah.
And because it's like when you have a large group of people, you have a crowd. They may not act as individuals, they may act as a group. Like, especially when people do loud and unusual things and they like all stop talking and turn their heads to stare at them.
Yes.
You could call them a mob. Would she prefer that?
I have no idea. No, her notes have repeatedly said that she wants me to talk about them as individuals, and it's like, no, they're not important.
No.
That's why they were the crowd in the first place. But
Yeah.
Talk about the crowd as if they were
individuals, yes, pull out individual characters and to see them react, to give it more texture. But looking at this, I realized it's like I just seen where somebody yelled out over conversations, and I realized there was more going on than just people in small groups having conversations. There was also a string quartet playing light music. And it's like, okay, fine, I'll just eliminate the crowd altogether because it's an audible thing. So he yelled out over the sound of the musicians playing.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, and went back and I rewrote another section to actually talk about, a disturbance happens and the musicians stop playing because nobody's listening to them. So why should they be doing that? And I think it's going to work out better, actually. Still giving some the sense of environment, but shifting where it's directed.
You do what you can.
Yeah. And I got snacks.
Very good. I am
Right.
out of snacks. I have ice cream, but I don't want to spoil my dinner.
Yeah.
Being an adult over my dinner.
Being an adult means you can have preemptive dessert.
On the 10th, I had ice cream for dinner. Like, I didn't even bother to do dinner. I just ate ice cream.
Mm.
And I DoorDashed it, so it was exorbitantly expensive.
Does that mean you got fancy ice cream?
I did. I got Cold Stone.
I have noticed that Cold Stone is available on DoorDash. I've just never thought about getting anything from it.
I advise getting the paying extra for the being first in line so that your ice cream doesn't melt in the car.
Okay. Good to know that that's an option.
That is now an option. There's like the standard, which is like 30 minutes, give or take. And then there's whenever you get around to it. And then now there is a dash thing.
Okay. How much do you pay in order to be first in line?
Like $4.
Hmm.
You pay like $4 to be first in line.
But I can see that being worth it to keep your stuff from being half melted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. My dad is driving me crazy here.
What is he
Ooh,
doing?
Say more.
He's working on an analogy to use in his query letter.
Uh-oh.
And he said, what do you think about the line, the trillionaires who bestride the world like kaiju? And I'm like, hilarious, but a bad analogy for a fantasy story with no kaiju in it.
Yes.
And so then he came back with, oh gosh, where is it?
There's no kaiju in your story, Pop. Like,
It's okay.
Why would you bring that up?
He recognized that. He's like, how about this? The trillionaires internecine wars like graceless dancers in a Lego display. I'm like, that's clunky, and Lego doesn't do the right type of world building. Also, I don't know what internecine means, and I have a pretty broad vocabulary. So he defined it for me, and I'm like, you're missing the point.
You're missing the point.
Using the right word is fine, but if 95% of people would have to look it up, it's going to make your agent think your novel is full of $5 words, and let's just say that limits your audience. And he went on to say, given the book I'm looking to sell uses the style that Bruner used in his 1968 novel that won the Hugo, Stand on Zanzibar. Yeah, it is literary. And I'm like, using what worked 65 years plus ago is going to be a tough sell in this market. It really feels like you're trying too hard and doesn't match the voice of the story. I wouldn't recommend it. Having a clever analogy here feels like a darling you won't let die. So anyway.
There's like steam coming out your ears.
I'm like, dude, you're trying too hard. Back up and come at it again.
Either he needs to let it die or he needs to go all in on it and play it for laughs. Go with the kaiju analogy. Throw in a bunch of other non sequitur stuff like that.
It won't fit with the tone of his story at all. And that's not going to sell the book he wrote. If the tone of the query doesn't match the tone of, like, you can go more business.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're talking about a query. No, you don't do that in the query. You do that in the book, but you don't do it in the query.
Yes. But that's not the voice of the book. So it's not going to work for a query. It might get you more pages looked at, but because it doesn't match the query, they're going to throw it away.
Yeah.
It's like day job software engineer. When you try to be too clever, it breaks everything. Just keep it simple, stupid.
Yes, absolutely.
And he's just trying too hard with $5 words. And I'm like, look, I inferred what it meant. I didn't need you to define it for me out of the dictionary. I needed you to realize that probably
you're writing your query for an agent who's got a stack of other queries this high to read. So maybe don't try to waste his time.
There's a difference between literary and I'm going to use this giant word because it fits just right, even if 90% of my audience won't understand what it means. No, honey. You want to be accessible to your readers.
Accessible.
If they have
to
stop,
gatekeep your audience.
If they have to stop and look up the word, then they might just put down the book and not pick it back up.
Yep.
That might work if you're writing textbooks, but not if you're writing fiction.
Exactly. Or like chapter books where you're expected to have a couple new vocab words. I was talking to some of my middle grade writer friends, and one of them was saying that their main character has an older big sister who's a smart aleck. So she's going to use the $5, chapter book version of the $5 words. Right. And he's going to be like, what's that, smarty pants? And you find out what the word means, you know?
Hello, my love.
So, but I'm just like,
I have a cat.
I
Yay.
guessed.
So I just, oh my gosh. Also, we worked the query for this story before,
Mhm.
Oh God.
and we got through the query, not the synopsis, but just the query in about 3 hours. He wants to tell what the story is about and not tell the story.
Isn't that the synopsis? Wait.
No, the synopsis is usually zoomed in a little more than he had, because the whole story is a prequel to his the book that he got small press pubbed, explaining how the Earth became a single confederacy of its own, or something like that. Whatever. And it was the common people pushing back against the like trillionaires who tried to puppet rule, which totally fine. But if it's the world building version of an after school special, and his synopsis makes it feel more like that than a story, so I'm kind of scared to read the book. So
How do you
yeah.
how do you explain to a parent that I run into that too with my mom? How do you explain to your parent that like they could improve by X, Y, and Z?
You tell them and they're like, oh, that sounds great, and then you read it and you realize they did nothing you suggested.
Oh,
And after the 12th
okay.
time, you're like, what? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why? Why do you keep asking me for advice and throwing it away? Unless, of course, one of your writer friends who has been published for 50 years happens to agree with some nugget of what I've said.
Mm-hmm.
Guac and crumbs.
I'm just seeing this as so. Is this a case of he says, "Oh, I've been published and you haven't, so obviously your ideas aren't any good"?
No, but I'm not published, so I'm just giving my personal advice and not industry advice.
Mm-hmm.
And he's found it valuable enough that he's asked for my advice more than once. And maybe he thinks he's implementing it.
Maybe
or taking nuggets of it.
Maybe he does think that.
But yeah, I have learned that he was confused with how to accept edits, suggestions. So perhaps that's part of the problem, is he thought he was accepting them and instead he was closing them. Because apparently that's how he ended up with the typo on his first page of his published manuscript.
That he thought he was accepting a change and instead he was just closing it.
Good job, Pop.
Okay.
So maybe thinking you know best might not. Okay. Anyway, personal issues. Anyway, let's hop into the comments and hear how other people's sprints went. So let's see. Mint Ghost took a bit of time off writing and sometimes watches Sako's morning streams while they work on other things. Yay. And Jennifer also took time off as well and is looking to get this book finished and ready to publish. Sweet. Legit, right there with you.
Sweet.
You got this. Which is why I am actually trying to get through this round of edits in March. So that's on my agenda for March.
What are you doing for April?
I am unsure. I am leaning towards maybe finally revising my middle grade.
All right.
So let me get through the comments, and I want to tell you something. I had a thought on my suburban fantasy yesterday.
Right on.
So Desdemona said, I am almost done with my outline. Only a few chapters left. Awesome. I remember you were working on the outline last week, and is now going to get the snacks. And Sako made Jennifer want ice cream. And
sorry.
Mint Ghost sent me sympathies. Thank you. And Desdemona says, I am at the bottom of my chip bag, so now I'm eating guac and crumbs. have you ever like taken the crumbs and stirred it in and then eaten the guac and chip crumbs with a spoon? No, okay, just me. Never mind, ignore me.
It's like I'm not opposed to guacamole. I just don't like it that much.
I've done actually. I think I've done it
love
more
it.
with salsa, but yeah.
I have eaten salsa with a spoon. Yes.
Oh
I-
yeah, but
totally
also
get
pour the chip crumbs into the end of the salsa and stir them in so you get the because you can't dip the crumbs, but that way you get the same mouth ratio of chips to
I take a
salsa.
salad. I take a salad as to work as lunch, and I usually take a couple small bags of chips. And when I get to the end of the chips, I turn it upside down over the salad and shake it to get the crumbs out.
Exactly. So yesterday I was on my way to game. I'm playing in my first Gamma World game, and
That takes me back.
I looked at the book cover, and I think that might be my next author spotlight guest is Bruce Nesmith, who on his list, he's like, I'm a video or a game, creator, and he's worked Elder Scrolls and stuff. And I'm like, I think this is the same guy. But he's publishing novels now. And so he has a book coming out this month, and he didn't have a release date last time I talked to him. So I don't have him yet which week. So I'm gonna reach out because it didn't come out on Amazon yet. So I wasn't sure. But yeah. I'm not gonna spotlight him. Okay. Anyway, I was on my way to game, and I'm like, why do my contemporary stories with magic, just keep not working or getting really critical feedback? And I'm like, it's because I'm not making the magic an integral part of the problem and or the solution. And so I need to lean harder into it.
Yeah, you do.
So yeah. So I'm trying to think of ways to make my suburban fantasy more dangerous and,
both more dangerous and using how does magic interact with the world around them?
Yeah.
Especially when they're doing something dangerous.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The magic can be a thing, like it can be normal problems, but if you take the magic away, it should not be the same story.
Correct.
Right. If you take the magic away, the problem either changes or goes away.
Right. The magic could make a normal problem worse or different, but it needs to affect how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what I was working on. And you can use magic to fix things, but it can't come in as a deus ex machina.
Yeah.
And it has to cost something, either emotionally or physically or some level of sacrifice.
Yeah. Magic always
even if the magic itself is, not physically draining or something, casting the magic or getting the spell or whatever needs to have cost something.
Yes. It doesn't necessarily have to cost. I don't think.
No, the general rule.
But there should be consequences.
Yes.
Because of it.
Yeah.
And that's the
trade-offs.
The cost either comes before or it comes after.
Yeah.
But you don't get something for free with magic.
Money for nothing and the chicks for free?
Yeah, no, it doesn't happen in magic.
Magic for nothing and the chips for free?
Yeah, magic for nothing.
And the chips, you see what I did with chips? Because it's a snack stream.
With the snacks.
Either the money is fool's gold and the chicks are sucked by. There's always something going on that's not quite right.
For those who may have missed the reference, Money for Nothing is a song by Dire Straits. Look it up. I understand there may be a generational or locality gap.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or, you just weren't raised on classic rock.
But if you're too
that video was the bee's knees in the 80s, man.
Right?
I was going to say, if you're too young to remember that song, now you have a chance to discover it for all your friends.
What?
What?
Oh, okay. It was re-released in 2012, and I was like, "What? What? That song is older than that."
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So I was just like, "What? What? No, yep." So
Yep.
yeah, ZZ Top. Yeah. Anyway, helped inspire. So
Yeah.
Mark Knopfler wrote the song.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, where were we?
And it was
Dire Straits.
supposedly written off of a conversation overheard in a real hardware store by a member of the band. So
Nice. So, oh, anyway, sounded like most people are having a good sprint. Desdemona says, I was thinking of that old commercial for the Mexican place, but that was chips are free, but the dinner is extra.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, let's do some more reading or snacking. I mean, productivity, that stuff, right?
Sure.
Sure. Why not? Ah, okay.
do some more griping about what your dad wants this time. No.
Anyway, okay, let's get
Palm
started.
to forehead.
Right. 3,
Apply
2,
correctly.
1. Boom. Shaka. And we're back. How was your sprint?
I drew bunnies.
Yay! I found a sweater.
Yeah, you did.
I found a ghillie.
Hi. Who's
All
Billy
right.
Garrett?
A ghillie found me, but mostly a ghillie found my chips. But
I mean, did you consider sharing with Gilly?
no.
No people food for kitties.
And how long have you had a Gilly?
I think something like 9 years.
And how long have you known that Gillies like chips too?
Probably since the first time we brought McDonald's fries in, and she went after them. She is a carbaholic. She's one of your people. So he also doesn't know when to stop, so we try to limit how many carbs she gets.
I understand, Gilly. I understand. Got my toast light on.
Toast light on.
For all
it's
those
for when you need more carbs, right?
For when you need to signal a toast emergency, right?
I mean, can you imagine not having toast and needing toast?
That is a tragic thought.
It's quite tragic. So
I frequently imagine having bread and needing toast and not being able to do anything about it because I don't like using a toaster oven.
Do you have a toaster?
No, we have a toaster oven.
Oh, I have a toaster oven and then a double toaster with 2 sides. So you can do 4 pieces at once.
Yeah, see, that
I
would
take
be
my carbivore seriously, okay?
I'm not doubting you. We used to have a toaster, but when my wife got the toaster oven, she decided that the toaster was redundant.
But it's faster for toast.
And it makes better toast.
You could just get another toaster. They're like $20.
Then we'd have to have someplace to put it. The kitchen is very small.
Okay. In that case, if you were dealing with space issues, that makes sense.
Among other things. Among the other issues.
I mean, maybe you could store it under your bed and pull it out when you need toast. A bedtime toast emergency.
Yes, those late night toast emergencies.
Or early morning. They could be early morning toast emergencies. When you need the bagel warm enough that the cream cheese will melt in.
I don't think I've ever had a bagel warm up with cream cheese melted in. I have lived a deprived existence.
I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know that growing up, my introduction to bagels was the cinnamon raisin bagels. And my mother would spread margarine on it and then sprinkle cinnamon sugar pre-mixed over it. Because I don't know that she was a cream cheese kind of person. But once I hit college, I learned about cream cheese on
bagels.
On bagels.
Yeah.
I was introduced to Panera and Einstein bagels. So I know they're not legit, but they're still bagels, okay, people?
Wait, Einstein's not legit?
Some people say that only New York bagels are real because of the mineral content in the water there makes them taste different than elsewhere.
Yeah, that's because they've got access to them.
Yeah. So popping into the comments, Desdemona got a few more chapters outlined and did some editing. Awesome. And Desdemona understands having a carb-loving kitty. He also loves sweets and gets really excited if you're eating pears, which seem to be his favorite food. That and marshmallows. I didn't know cats liked marshmallows and pears.
They can.
Just the idea of a cat trying to chew on a marshmallow sounds kind of hilarious.
Catticus will inspect anything, but he's mostly just interested in chicken and tuna and salmon.
That sounds much more like Trill. She'll inspect just about anything to see what it is, but usually she doesn't bother with people food.
Jim's kitties like ham and bread. Sorry, y'all went silent. I was muting myself because I was chiming, I guess 5 o'clock, but I'm going to have to flip the clock forward in a bit.
Because it's really 6 o'clock in this new
but
universe we found ourselves in.
This is also a clock that is hand wound once a week.
Yeah.
So it requires a little more
effort,
care and tear.
We've got clock. Like a total of 3 clocks that aren't self-resetting, and one of them is the clock that I'm looking at down here in the living room, and I came down, looked at that, and said, "It's like, oh no, it's not that early. I need to fix that now."
Yeah. So I actually cleared out a bunch of emails. So I did do some work during that sprint. And I read the introduction of Anita meeting Olaf for the first time, which he's a scary guy. And things get more and more complicated because things rarely get simpler unless, they die.
Yeah.
So that was my sprint. Desdemona says that their kid likes the mini marshmallows and has a picture of the cat hanging off of a bag of marshmallows that the kiddo is holding up somewhere. Nice. Catticus is sacked out actually on his red fluffy blanket right now. Sometimes, usually he's on the back of the couch this time of day, occasionally in his cat tower, but right now he's like, I'm going on the cushy chair.
I'm getting the slow blink.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, nice. I love a slow blink. Some cats don't slow blink, and maybe it's because I'm not friends enough with them that they don't trust me.
It's the equivalent of kisses. If they are licking you, they think you're dirty, but if they are slow blinking at you, they actually like you and trust you.
I think my Catticus, when he licks me, is grooming me back because I pet him, so it's his way of petting me, not necessarily that he thinks I'm dirty. Although when I've been doing Beat Saber, hanging out with Doc, he does definitely enjoy licking the salt off my skin, but that's a very different vibe. That's a very different vibe.
I got out of the shower this morning and went and sat on the bed, and Gilly came up to me and promptly started licking my arm. And it's
water is so much better from any source other than the water bowl.
Yeah, I don't think that's because she thinks I'm dirty. I think it's because I've got moisture on me, and she likes the human flavored water.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think Catticus could do that without starting to bite at some point. He's just more of a nom sort of kitty.
But right now I've got Trill and Gilly curled up next to me on the couch asleep.
Aww. Well, we have 25 minutes left, and if we're doing 23-minute sprints, maybe we can squeeze one more in.
We can squeeze one more in.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Wait,
one more squeeze.
And we're back. Guess who took a reading break and got through the line edits on the chapter? So, how was your sprint?
Not quite as productive as I would have wanted it, but
I understand.
Oh my god, I can't sign my name anymore.
Oh no.
you have signed your name too much. You've run out of signings.
I think I figured it out.
Okay.
I'm almost done with this commission.
Oh nice.
I just want to finish.
So these are commissioned bunnies, or the bunnies something separate?
The bunnies are commissioned, yes.
Okay.
No bunnies for you. Those bunnies belong to someone else.
Cleaning up my mess. Thinking about shading the bunnies, lighting the bunnies.
Sure.
But I don't think the client really cares. I'm sure they will love the picture all the same.
You're just going to make sure that you're giving them quality work.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff
Right.
you can be proud of.
It's cute.
That's awesome.
It's good.
It is cute.
It's cute.
There is a light side and a dark side. No.
There is. There's a white bunny and a black bunny.
The bunny of Void. No.
And they like to, like, one will nuzzle the other's like chin.
Aww.
And they'll just rest their head on top, and it's really
So cute.
so. Apparently, I needed to illustrate this.
I mean, I understand. These things can happen.
Yay, money! Yay, money!
Right? That one too. Desdemona was hoping to finish their outline, kept getting distracted by editing, but only has 3 chapters left. So can finish that today, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Are you okay?
I just poked myself in the eye.
Don't
Oh,
do
no.
that.
Yeah, I know.
There are
terrible,
other people,
isn't it?
I mean, I told you about the time I had to go to the eye doctor because I went to like rub the sleep from my eye and like scratched.
Scratched your cornea? Oh god.
No, I was afraid I had. What I'd actually done was scrape put a small cut on my tear duct inside. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's going to heal fine, but every time I blinked, the movement would stretch the little cut I'd put in with my nail.
Yeah.
I failed rubbing my eyes. I'm special.
I don't know how you cut it.
My nails are sometimes really sharp and brittle.
Oh, I see.
This is one of those times where you complain to the DM about requiring a dex check. I was rubbing my eye. You made me roll a 1 for that.
I mean, I've thrown out my neck opening doors or, sleeping. So I get it.
Yeah, I get it.
So yeah. When my neck and shoulders are tight, I have to look at the door when opening. Don't like turn sideways and pull in a different direction than I'm braced. It's not. Yeah.
That's generally a bad idea. I can only imagine like the trapezius just going.
Yup, pretty much. But anyway, it is after 6:30, sort of. My body doesn't think so, but the clock does.
Yeah.
So we've been at this for 2 hours. So let's tell the people where they can find us and peace out, yo.
You can Google Sako or Sako Tumi. All of my social media will pop up and maybe even my website. So I am easy to find.
Doc?
So I am right here.
And you can find him here every Sunday afternoon.
Pretty much.
As long as I'm here and it's happening, you're pretty much here.
But if you go looking for me at other times when I might not be here, you can find my stuff by going to your favorite search engine and searching for Doc Coleman Steampunk. And that will help you find my website at doccoleman.com. It'll also help you find my Amazon author page, where you can see my various books in print. And hopefully soon we will have Cast of Crows showing up there. I have noticed that Cast of Crows has been added to Goodreads as one of my books, but it hasn't shown up on Amazon yet. I think part of that is because the official publication date is actually in like August. No,
that explains a lot.
We're going to have them in April at Telltale Steampunk, which if you look for me on August 1st and 2nd, that's where you'll find me at the Tale Steampunk Convention in Hunt Valley, Maryland. And you'll be able to go to a completely different booth than mine and buy a copy of Cast of Crows and then bring it back and have me sign it for you.
I mean, obviously.
Yes.
You would sign my arm if I asked you to, wouldn't you?
If you ask me, yeah.
Your arm. That's what we'll sign. Yeah.
By what? Okay. And I'm your host.
I'm open for options. We can negotiate.
And I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. I am an actively queering fantasy author, and I blog, vlog, and podcast, writing tips from the pros, and of course, my own writerly musings. This week, I was sharing an author spotlight on DB Rook, so check that out over on the blog, and talking about Encanto and making your characters three-dimensional. Some of the things Encanto did that was a little out of step with the traditional Disney stories that made it a lot more fun, at least for me, especially coming at it from a storyteller perspective. Absolutely. And over on the podcast, I was talking about the 10 types of queriers. Which are you? Let me know, and we'll be back next week. So have fun.
Bye-bye.
And good luck with your projects.